Linis sa paligid, gumamit ng Protect Plus Gold. Isang safe broad-spectrum disinfectant na pumapatay ng mga virus, bacteria at fungi. BMEG Premium at Protect Plus Gold. Sama-sama sa laban, walang iwanan.
NEC 25 and Globe Business presents Open for Business.
Impormasyong mahalaga sa taong bayan. Patas na pagbabalita. Papakinggan ang magkabilang panig. Lilinawin ang mga issue at kaagad na ihahatid ng objektibo. Mata ng Agila. Tumadagit ng pinakasariwang pangyayari, hindi lamang sa loob ng bansa, kundi sa iba't ibang panig ng daigdig. Mula sa Eagle News Teams at sa tulong ng makabagong teknolohiya, tiyak na makakalap kaagad ang katotohanan. Para sa mas matalas, malinaw at malalimang pagbabalita. Ito ang mas pinatalas na Mata ng Agila. Inihahatid ng veteranong broadcast journalist na si Eli Saludar. Kasama si Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental 2019, Emma Tiglao. At pinangungunahan ng batikang mamamahayag ng bansa, Vic De Leon Lima. Mata ng Agila. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 6 hanggang alas 8 ng gabi. Dito sa NET 25.
Totoo ang kasabihang may pera sa basura, lalo na kung magagawa ang iba't ibang bagay mula sa mga recyclable material na inaakala ng iba na itatapon na. May ilang barangay sa bansa ang nagre-recycle ng basura at makikita ang iba't ibang bagay na gawa sa basura. Mga dekorasyon sa bahay, sa mga proyektong ito, nagiging malinis ang kapaligiran bukod sa mayroon pang pagkakakitaan.
Welcome back to Open for Business. I am Las Vegas correspondent Randy Bernardino. Today we are discussing the power of digital technology to survive the pandemic. And with me is Ms. Claudine C., Assistant General Manager of Excel Cystic Corporation. Hello Claudine, magandang araw sa inyo.
Hi Randy, good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Ms. Claudine, what was the inspiration for starting Excel Cystic Corporation?
So the goal of our family business was to supply end-to-end packaging solutions to our customers. So this consists of primary, secondary, and tertiary packaging. So primary means it has direct contact with the packaging, and secondary means the packaging is used for branding, and tertiary means it, which is our product, is used for shipping and storage.
And how is Excel different from other packaging material vendors?
What makes Excel different from other packaging material vendors is that we are focused on building long-term relationships with our customers. We don't cut corners just to earn a profit. We prioritize customer experience above anything else. And our products are definitely not the cheapest in the market, but our customers can be sure of our quality, and we have exact length in all of the products that we serve.
Okay, so the quality products. For decades, Excel has already been in business. Ano-anong ibang mga products ng Excel Cystic Corporation?
So yung main product namin is the packaging tape. So in packaging tape, it's used mainly to wrap boxes to make sure that secure yung items nyo. And then we have masking tape. Masking tape is usually used for construction while painting. And then we also have double-sided tape, stretch film, food wrap, and other kinds of packaging.
Mhm. Now, nakita ko sa website ninyo, your masking tape that you offer, there's also something special. Sometimes it can be branded. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, yeah. So our tapes, we can put your brand on our tapes, specifically the packaging tape. So for example, you have a brand, so Corporation A. So we can put that on the tape so it would be more secure. Hindi siya magagaya ng other people. So you can easily see if your product has been tampered with.
That's true. And I think that's what makes it special. Instead of bibili pa kayo ng masking tapes sa department store, plain lang, at least when you can put your brand on it, that's what makes it special. Now, let's think about Excel before the pandemic. Bago nagkaroon ng pandemya, how was the Excel business doing before the pandemic?
So before the pandemic, it was very business as usual for us. Things were going pretty smoothly. There was already a rhythm within our office and everyone was just going with the flow.
So before the pandemic, who really was your target market that Excel was reaching out towards?
So we are a B2B company. Most of our customers are businesses who have manufacturing facilities. So basically they are factories. And our other customers are the retailers or what we call dealers. Usually they are school and office supply stores.
Yes, so all of these different customers. Now, before the pandemic, how were they doing the ordering? How was these customers contacting Excel for their orders?
Before the pandemic, they were contacting us through the telephone, text, email, and sometimes they even use the fax machine.
Oh, wow. You still use the fax machine even now?
Yes.
Okay, now the pandemic happened. March 2020. Ayon, lockdown. What was your first reaction when they first announced that there was going to be a lockdown and quarantine?
So after the lockdown was announced, syempre takot kami lahat kasi hindi pa natin alam kung anong mangyayari. Things were very uncertain and we didn't have any contingency plans pa. So we had a lot of customers in the food manufacturing sector and they wouldn't be able to transport their food without our packaging tape. So we had a lot of difficulty during the start of the pandemic because we weren't ready for the lockdown. Most of our employees could not come to work because they couldn't get out of their barangay, and those who were able to go out couldn't go to work because there was no public transportation available. So what we immediately did was we converted office space into living quarters for some of our employees. And for those who weren't able to stay in, we provided company shuttles so they can go to and from the office. With this current setup, we were able to bounce back quickly after the lockdown. So that was in June, and we were fully operational already by June, despite the curfew.
Well, that's good to hear. You really acted fast. Now, for all of our viewers who are tuning in, they're probably thinking, what is Excel Cystic Corporation? What is Excel, Miss Claudine?
So Excel Cystic Corporation is a manufacturer and trader of adhesive tapes and other packaging materials. The goal of our group of family businesses is to provide end-to-end packaging solutions for our customers.
Now, of course, the pandemic, we weren't expecting it. And there were changes that we had to make right away. What were some of the changes that you did that worked, and what were the ones that didn't work?
So what worked with us was that we conducted all our meetings online already. We used the Zoom platform, and we were able to use this with our partnership with Globe Business. So Globe has been with us since the start of our business in 2001. So we used Globe Internet.
That's good. Okay, so now let's go back when you said that lifted na ang lockdown for June. Now it's been almost more than a year. Tell us about the journey in the last, from the lockdown up till now. What were some of the challenges you experienced and how did you overcome them?
So with everything being closed and people were very hesitant to go out of their homes, delivery became very essential. Our sales was badly hit because our main customers, aside from factories, were the school and office supplies, and the schools were all closed. What kept us afloat were the logistic companies who need a big amount of packaging materials, and we also had a new type of customer. They were online sellers and small online dealers. Before the pandemic, you wouldn't see our brand in the online retail platforms, but since COVID started, there were a lot of customers looking for suppliers for tapes so they can sell it online. So this created a new sales channel for us.
Wow, so that goes already into my next question about digital technology. So for the boom, really there was in e-commerce, do you have how quick was that right when the pandemic happened that you were starting to see online sellers? Was it the same day or maybe in a couple weeks? How was that? Did you start seeing that there was already a need that you have this new customer of online sellers?
So what we did was we did a lot of Facebook advertising. With Facebook advertising, we received a lot of new inquiries, and we also joined Viber groups and Facebook groups. This helped increase our visibility to online sellers.
And now that you have that new customer, bago na mga online sellers, marami nang nag-order, was there a greater need then to have the digital tools available to handle all of these new orders? And how did you handle it with the boom in e-commerce and online sellers?
What was the most important thing for us as we got all these new clients was how were we going to receive their payment quickly and safely, and how were we going to confirm that we have received their payment. So what helped us the most was we used GCash for most of our transactions.
Now, was that easy for you to do before? Before the pandemic? How were you receiving payment? Was it by cash, transfer, wire transfer? How was it before?
Before the pandemic, we used bank-to-bank transfers, or our collectors would go to the customers and receive their payments. But due to the pandemic, it was really easier for us now to receive payments from our customers because we can now check their payments online through online banking.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned also GCash. About how many of the online sellers are using GCash for their orders?
Most of our customers, more than 50% of our customers are actually using GCash. And what's nice about GCash is that you receive a text message once someone has made the payment. So it has really been easier for us.
Now, besides GCash, what other tools? You mentioned Globe Business. What other features of Globe Business really helped you during this time of the pandemic?
So what we did was we gave prepaid internet kits to all our sales agents, and they were able to work from home. By doing this, we did not lose any of our customers, and we were still able to provide the same type of service to them, even during the lockdown.
So you mentioned that you offered your sales agents the Globe Broadband. How did that help them in meeting the sales of now your new clients?
So with the help of the internet, they were able to communicate with their customers as if they were also in our office, even though they were working at home. And they were able to get the sales of our customers, and they were also able to send the purchase orders to our office seamlessly.
Wow. Okay. So now if you could compare how the business is now versus before the pandemic. What's different about now in terms of your sales and your revenue?
So our business now is even higher than when we were at 2019. So I think we were able to capitalize on the use of the internet in our business.
And now, so it's even better. What is the demand now for, what are the popular products that your customers are requesting now?
I think what really boomed for us was the packaging tape, which is our main item. Kasi lahat na lang gumagamit ng packaging tape eh. Pati yung mga motorcycle drivers, yung mga Grab delivery riders, you can see them, diba, in their motorcycle, sa mirror nila, minsan may nakadikit doon na packaging tape. So imagine mo na lang, one motorcycle rider is equal to one packaging tape, or actually they use more than one pa nga eh. So yeah, the packaging tape has really been the main product for us, the main product driver.
Wow, that's surprising. Akala ko what would be very popular would be the packaging for food trays, kasi there's a lot of online sellers that are maybe selling from their home, but I'm surprised to hear about the masking tape. Now, were you able to keep up with this greater demand? Did you have enough stocks in supply?
During the start of the pandemic, we were a bit worried about our inventory levels because, as you can remember, nauna yung China mag-lockdown. So during their lockdown, wala kaming any deliveries from them. And then pag-lockdown naman natin ng March, so dun pa lang, pag-lockdown natin ng March, yun naman yung time na nagde-deliver na sila ng items sa amin. So we were lucky na umabot naman lahat ng orders namin.
That's good. So now if you're thinking about present time, if you could reflect, how is your business able to survive during this pandemic?
So because of the pandemic, there were also a lot of there were lots of entrepreneurs, backyard home sellers who used our packaging for their sales and delivery. So kahit na nawala yung office and school supplies namin na customers, meron naman mga pumalit. On a smaller scale lang sila, pero marami pa rin sila. Also, we were able to shift from offline to online. Yung offline sales namin before, although humina siya, pumalit naman yung mga sales namin from Shopee and Lazada.
The orders that you're receiving online, are they majority going through your website? Are they using the Facebook, Viber, or where do the most of your orders, where are they coming in from?
Most of our orders are coming in from Facebook pa rin because I think ang gusto ng tao sa Facebook is pwede sila mag-ask ng many questions. Alam mo naman mga Filipinos, marami silang questions. So by using Facebook, they are able to ask questions and we are able to reply quickly also. So usually within 1 hour may transaction na eh.
Okay, so if you're thinking about when the pandemic ends completely and then pwede nang lumabas, do you think you'll be continuing to use digital technology or do you think it's gonna go back to before?
I think even after the pandemic, tamad na mga tao, ayaw na nila bumili. Ayaw na nila yung normal way of buying and selling natin. So mas prefer na talaga nila online. So I think we are going to continue with our activities online, especially yung Facebook selling.
So now what are your business goals and your vision for the future for Excel Systec?
So what I learned during this pandemic is you should always consider other options you didn't consider before. Like for us, dati ayaw namin magbenta online kasi tingi-tingi lang binibili ng tao. And yung preference kasi namin is to sell by bulk. To sell by bulk, by boxes. Kasi di ba mahirap naman magbilang tingi-tingi. So what I learned was, yung mga tao, kaya rin naman nila bumili per box. Basta sabihin mo lang sa kanila na meron kayong minimum order quantity. And ang maganda pa is sila pa yung nagpipick up ng delivery. So they nag-hire sila ng Grab or Lalamove to pick up their order from our factory, which is very convenient for us. And yung sales namin cash pa through GCash.
And do you have any plans of expanding Excel System? Right now, ilan ang offices ng Excel System Corporation?
Right now, we only have one office in Caloocan.
Mm-hmm. But now that you have this, you've tapped into the e-commerce boom and you have the digital tools, are there any plans of a future expansion?
I think what we are going to add is more online sellers of our products. So kahit na isa lang factory namin, marami nang nagbebenta online. Feeling ko, madami na rin kaming branches.
Mm-hmm. And usually, yung mga customers ninyo, dito lang sa Luzon, or is it expanded to other areas? Really, what areas are you servicing?
We are currently servicing the whole of the Philippines because we have several dealers in different provinces.
Wow! I'm surprised because when you said only one office, akala ko that it's just Metro Manila or Luzon. How are you able to service the entire Philippines? Contacting your customers, isn't that so hard with just one office?
We have different distributors. So basically, we have a factory, and from the factory, we can ship anywhere to the Philippines.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's good to know that even during the pandemic, even though all of these disruptions, you're still able to continue with your business. Now, for what are really some of the most important learnings that you can share from this experience? Of course, we didn't know there's going to be a pandemic, but what from everything that you learned, the challenges, what's some of the most important things?
So what I learned was the shift from offline to online is really urgent. Kung hindi kayo mag-shift from offline to online, is may iwan na talaga kayo ng mga nasa online. Kasi sobrang dami nila, di mo nakikita, sobrang daming multiple stores online, and kahit na isang tao ka lang, pwede ka mag-serve ng sobrang daming customers pag online compared to offline. So I strongly suggest to all MSMEs to move your business online. Kahit na you start with one store and one product lang, just to try it.
Now, if people want to find out more about Excel System Corporation, how can they find out?
So you can contact us on Google or on Facebook. Just write Excel System Corp and you'll find us there.
Well, thank you for sharing with us your experience, Ms. Claudine, about the challenges. We wish you all the best for Excel System Corporation.
Thank you, Randy. Have a nice day.
Thank you. For all of you watching Open for Business, we will be back. Stay tuned.
Bank of Commerce. What we are is personal banking, where we understand that every deposit is your hard-earned money. Every loan is for good reason. Every service aids in your convenience. Every business of ours is meant to grow yours. We hear you, feel you, and we act on your every banking need. Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation.
Ang trabaho naman talaga ng maritime group ng PNP is to enforce the maritime
Tayo
laws.
lang yung stricto, pero in other parts of the country, pwede na naman ang tourism.
Definitely, we are ready to respond to a possible spike.
Sapagkat ang aming intensyon ay makatulong lang sa mga tao na wala talagang magamit na gamot.
92 voted for this resolution, which will make it stronger, calling on the Justice Department to come up with more stringent ways to be able to avert these hate crimes against Asian Americans.
Mas marami po tayong magagamit ngayon na mga tools or mga equipment.
Maraming salamat, Weng, at sa buong puwersa ng Balitalakayan sa pagkakataong ito.
Tatalakayin ang mga pangunahing balita live sa teleradyo ng Net25 at Radyo Aguila DCEC 1062. Kasama si Weng de la Fuente sa Balit Talakayan.
We live in interesting times.
Malalayong lugar ang kanilang narating para maghanap buhay. Tulungan ang pamilyang iniwan sa sariling bayan. Yan ang ating mga overseas Filipino worker. Pero dahil sa di pangkaraniwang pangyayaring hatid ay krisis, may ilan sa kanilang nagpasyang umuwi. Pinagyaman ang sariling lupain, nagtayo ng negosyo na kasama sa puhunan ang sipag at tiyaga. Ang mga OFW, maraming sakripisyo, ninanais maging kapaki-pakinabang maging sa kanilang pagbabalik bansa. Sapagkat ang ating mga bagong bayani, Pilipino pa rin sa puso at damdamin.
Events happen around us all the time. In our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eagle news, because we live in interesting times.
Welcome back to Open for Business. Here are the trending business news around the world. COVID tourism impact could top $4 trillion. The economic impact from the plunge in tourism since the pandemic emerged last year could top $4 trillion, a UN report said. The joint report by the UN's World Tourism Organization, or UNWTO, and Conference on Trade and Development, or UNCTAD, found that the lack of widespread vaccination in developing countries was leading to mounting economic losses. COVID-19 vaccination rates are wildly uneven, with some countries having inoculated less than 1% of their population, while others have topped 60%. There will be economic damage concentrated in those countries with low vaccination rates. Many developing countries are highly dependent on international tourism. Although the tourism sector is expected to recover faster in countries with high vaccination rates, like the United States, the UN doesn't expect international tourism to return to pre-pandemic levels until 2023 at the earliest. Canada mandates new cars to be zero emissions by 2035. All new cars and light-duty trucks in Canada will be required to be zero emissions by 2035, Transport Minister Omar Alaghabra announced, moving up the timeline for eliminating vehicle pollution. This is 5 years sooner than our previous goal, he said. The regulatory move will help Canada meet its overall net zero carbon emissions target to the economy by mid-century. Despite government incentives to defray the relatively higher prices of electric vehicles, purchases have been slow to take off. According to government data, battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids accounted for less than 4% of the 25 million passenger cars and trucks registered in Canada last year, up from about 2% in 2019. Facebook wins antitrust dismissal, surges to $1 trillion in value. A U.S. judge dismissed the blockbuster antitrust action against Facebook filed last year by federal and state regulators, helping lift the value of the social media giant above $1 trillion for the first time. Judge James Boasberg of the U.S. District Court of Washington, D.C., dismissed the cases filed in December by the Federal Trade Commission and more than 40 states, which could have rolled back Facebook's acquisition of Instagram and the messaging platform WhatsApp. The federal lawsuit failed to plead enough facts to plausibly establish a necessary element that Facebook has a monopoly power in the market for personal social networking services, the judge said in a 53-page opinion, while allowing authorities the opportunity to refile the case. Facebook shares surged after the decision, lifting the company's market valuation above $1 trillion for the first time. And now for tips on job hunting. Every week, we will provide you with tips for first-time job seekers, for those wanting to advance in their careers, and even those wanting to start fresh and change professions. Today's tip, conduct a mock interview. Now, this is very important, especially for first-time applicants. You want to be able to say the answers to the interview questions in your own words. So number one, do your research and prepare answers to those questions. Now, for some of you, you can do bullet points as notes, or some of you would like a full written out script. Whatever is your style, what's the most important is that you practice saying the words out loud. So my suggestion is find a friend that you can conduct a mock interview with. You are the applicant, they are the interviewer. You can do it in person or like what we are doing nowadays, Zoom or video interviews. Now have them ask the questions and you say your answers out loud. That's the most important. For many of us, we think that I could just think, baka isipin na lang ninyo, alam ko na yung mga sagot. Ready na ako, may mga notes pa ako. But what's the most important is getting in the habit of saying the words out loud so that you can be comfortable and relaxed in your interview. So for all of you watching Open for Business, we will be back. Stay tuned.
Hey there, Arnie Aquino here at Hatley Castle, one of the filming locations for the X-Men series. Don't forget to tune in to Digital Nest only on Net25.
Tayong mga Filipino, likas na palabati. Sanay rin tayong makipagkamay. Pero dahil na rin sa COVID pandemic, isinusulong ang pagbati na hindi na kailangan pang makipagkamay, ang pambansang pagbati. Ito ay ang pagdampi ng kanang palad sa gitnang bahagi ng dibdib, kasabay ng bahagyang pagyukod ng ulo o paibabang tingin, at pagsambit ng mga salitang nagpapahayag ng pagbati, paggalang o pagpupugay. Pagkatapos nito ay ang pag-angat ng ulo ng nakangiti at nakatingin sa mata ng binabati. Pambansang pagbati, pagpapakita ng paggalang, kababaang loob at pagiging sensero nating mga Filipino.
Factual.
We have to defeat the virus everywhere.
Timely information. Balanced. Not only in the country, but also abroad.
I'm certain of one thing.
Interviews that people need to know. Watch Aguila Pilipinas! A one-hour newscast of reports coming from regional hubs in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Know the important updates in Asia in ASEAN in Focus. Track the latest stories in the provinces in Aguila Provincia. Tune into Mata ng Aguila, the evening primetime news program of Net25. Balanced and objective, Mata ng Aguila covers national and international issues, tackles news on business, health, science and technology, entertainment, sports and human interest features, and current events. And Eagle News International delivers the latest global reports, impartial, accessible, and up-to-date. It brings to fore EBC's rich international scope and access to valuable information streams.
Well, thank you to explain our health outdoor.
Catch these programs on Net25. You can also watch our news programs through eaglenews.ph and Eagle News Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Open for Business is back, and our business term of the week is virtual office. A virtual office gives businesses a physical address and office-related services without the overhead of a long lease and administrative staff. With a virtual office, employees can work from anywhere but still have things like a mailing address, phone answering services, meeting rooms, and video conferencing. Virtual offices operate as one unit to serve customers but do not exist in a fixed location. This type of setup is especially popular with startups and small businesses that want to minimize overhead. The creation of web-based office productivity software and services such as video conferencing has helped drive the growth in virtual offices. And today we learned that the critical events in the past year have initiated a period of perseverance, resilience, and innovation for MSMEs. Many small business owners were not defeated by the unprecedented disruptions. Rather, they saw an opportunity to pivot their business and embrace digital transformation. Taking advantage of all digital tools available, they continue to overcome the challenges brought on by the pandemic and confidently move their businesses forward. And with that, our quote of the week is from Winston Churchill. He said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood ng Open for Business, and thank you to our OFB Las Vegas correspondent Randy Bernardino and our guest from Excel System Corporation, Ms. Claudine Gale CC. Samahan niyo kaming muli sa Open for Business sa susunod na linggo. Learn more insights from CEOs, thought leaders, industry experts, and SMEs promoting business development in the Philippines to keep you informed and open for business and be ahead of the curve from vision to action. Panoorin din ang programang OFB sa Facebook at YouTube. Mag-subscribe sa aming social media at Net25 TV. Para sa Open for Business, ako po si Cesar Vallejos. We live in interesting times.
This program is supported by Bank of Commerce, an affiliate of San Miguel Corporation. We think customers. BMEG Premium at Protect Plus Gold. Sama-sama sa laban, walang iwanan.
Net25 and Globe Business present Open for Business.
Ngayong may pandemya,